Ronald Reagan is remembered for declaring the 11th commandment, "Thou shalt not speak ill of any Republican." He first said that during the campaign for governor of California in 1965. It was and remains a pretty good directive. The Democrats' job now is to name the person most likely to win the November 2020 election, and that won't be accomplished with more circular firing squads like we're witnessing in the debates. Democrats have to stay focused on beating Trump, not on beating up one another. They diminish their case to the American people with nitpicky carping about whose program is a smidgen better, not only because of the discord it sows, but also because that in the weeds talk makes everyone's eyes glaze over. And Democrats wise up about extreme plans. The word radical seems to evoke sensations of power for many on the left, but radical ain't gonna sell in the general election. Even the Wall Street Journal has warned how self-defeating extreme lefty stuff is. Stop giving the election to Trump. So candidates, state your case, not the negatives about other candidates, and prepare to beat the snot out of Trump. Thou shalt not speak ill of any Democrat. That's a campaign best way forward. Now it's time to examine the key question of our time and the best way forward with it. Long ago, I'd had enough, a bellyful. It wasn't just the outrages and the spewing of hate and the nonstop assault on reality and truth. It wasn't just the flicking off of our allies and the cozying up to tyrants and murderers, or the denial of science and intelligence itself. It was the blatantly illegal stuff that came into plain sight. That's when the line was permanently crossed. I was right there. Impeach the criminal bastard. Then I thought about it some more, and the issue wasn't quite that clear or simple. If Trump were successfully removed from office, Pence would become president, and he'd pardon Trump and his family of all their federal crimes. Definitely not good. If Pence were to become president, we would have a smarmy, self-righteous Bible thumper telling lies in the Oval Office every afternoon, following attempts at gay conversions in the reflecting pool in the mornings. Definitely not good. If Trump were impeached in the House, but protected by the spineless Republican Senate that has completely lost its true conservative way, that would give him a flag to wave to help him get reelected. Very definitely not good. All of that and more are why the issue hasn't been that clear. Here's what is that clear now. Trump has committed multiple felonies, has stonewalled the rule of law, and has flagrantly assaulted the pillars of our democracy. This hasn't been mere misdemeanor stuff. These are high crimes. The House should start impeachment hearings, an investigation to determine if they should start formal impeachment proceedings. They should do that because it's the right thing to do to protect our democracy and the rule of law. And because I don't think our democracy can withstand another 4 years of Trump's lawlessness and assaults on what we hold dear. It'll take months to go through all the material they can subpoena. If Trump and his team stonewall subpoenas, the courts will slap them down every time. Besides, if they stonewall, it'll stretch out the process even longer so we can keep the wrongdoing of Trump and his crime family in public view all the way to election day. Think Benghazi. The Republican Congress held 7 sequential hearings over the tragic events in Benghazi, each one repeating all the same information. They found absolutely no Hillary Clinton guilt or wrongdoing, but the Republicans kept her in the center of the bullseye with "shame on you" fingers pointed at her and snarls of disgust superglued to their faces for so long that the public forgot about her exoneration and just assumed she was guilty of something. That's what Ken Starr did to Bill Clinton. He investigated all things Clinton for over 4 years. All he accomplished legally was to catch him lying to avoid being found out an adulterer. But he did keep a shaming finger pointed publicly at Clinton all that time. That's what the Democrats in the House should do. Non-stop investigation into all things Trump. Let Trump and the Republicans hypocritically howl at the unfairness, the abuse of the system, and all the rest of the, did I mention hypocritical, whining they can conjure over an impeachment inquiry. An impeachment inquiry is both the politically useful thing to do as well as the morally, constitutionally right thing to do as the best way forward. You just can't beat that combination. So I've evolved over this issue from impeach to don't impeach, now at the sensible middle ground of impeachment inquiry. File those contempt of Congress charges, Jerry Nadler, and let the subpoenas fly. From the New York Times, Governor Ricardo A. Rosselló of Puerto Rico announced his resignation on Wednesday, conceding that he could no longer credibly remain in power after an extraordinary popular uprising and looming impeachment proceedings had derailed his administration. That is what 1 million people in the streets can do. It's a critical step in creating the change you want to see. Maybe you belong in the streets demanding an impeachment investigation. I'm Jack Altshuler.